Most brands track ROAS the wrong way and it costs them growth. In this video, I'll show you how to calculate new customer ROAS, why it's the only ROAS metric that matters for scaling, and how to set realistic targets. This is the same method we use for all of our clients, so let's dive right into it. So currently, how do you track your ROAS? It's the following. So you have your blended spend versus your blended revenue. That will equal your blended ROAS. So let's say, for example, you're spending 10K a month, you generate 50K a month. That's gonna be 50K divided by 10K, which will equal 5. And 5 is your blended ROAS. Now here is how you can calculate your new customer ROAS. So you're gonna have again your total spend versus your new customer revenue only. You can obviously take from Shopify, but if you want to have more accurate data, I highly recommend you to use TripleWell, which we use for all of our clients. So let's say you've spent 10K total and you have generated $30,000 from just specifically new customers. So 30K, it's new customer revenue only. That's gonna be 30K divided by 10K. That's gonna be 3 new customer ROAS. And this is a lot more clearer when it comes to tracking and scaling, because with the blended ROAS, if you're tracking across all platforms versus total spend, most of the time you won't know if the returning customers would have bought anyway and if the sales are incremental. And when I say incremental, meaning again, if those people would have bought anyway, even without seeing your ads or emails, etc. So that's why new customer ROAS is a lot more clearer, and new customer ROAS is gonna allow you to see if you're first order profitable. Now, if you don't know how to calculate your first order profitability, I'm gonna record a separate video for this. Let me know in the comments down below. But basically, you need to calculate when do you break even specifically with your new customer ROAS and what's your first order profitability. Depending on your brand, you can set different targets for scaling. So for example, if your store has only one product, you need to make sure you're first order profitable on every single first order. Just because if you have only one product and there is no rebuying happening, you need to be first order profitable all the time, just because you're going to be losing money otherwise. But if, let's say, you sell clothes, jewelry, and you have a really good returning rate of customers, you can allow yourself to lose a little bit of money on the first order. So for example, if your lifetime value of a customer is $1,000, your average order value is $100, you can probably allow yourself to lose, I'm gonna say, $10 to $20 on the first order, probably even more. Because let's say if you're first order profitable at acquiring a customer for $50, you can allow yourself to spend maybe $75, because you know this person is gonna come back and is gonna fulfill $1,000 worth of orders. You can allow yourself to lose money on the first order. But again, you need to know all of these metrics. You need to know when do you break even, you need to know what's your lifetime value of a customer, you need to know how often do they return to your store, what's the average order value, and all of the necessary metrics. If you track only blended ROAS and you're trying to scale based on blended ROAS, you're gonna find it very ineffective to do so, just because once you start scaling, the blended ROAS always drops, always drops. Because if you're not acquiring as many new customers as possible and you focus on blended ROAS, you're probably gonna be spending a lot more on retargeting. Without consistently acquiring new customers to fill the pipeline, it's gonna be very hard for you to scale following the blended ROAS metric. So that's why I highly recommend to you to focus all of your attention into new customer ROAS and scale based on those numbers. And that was about it. I know it was a short video, but I really wanted to explain to you what you need to focus on, just because I see so many brands focus on blended ROAS when new customer ROAS is the North Star. It's what you need to be aiming for to improve, and you need to be getting more new customers if you want your business to grow. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.